The completion of the recovery process itself may take up to 5 days or even longer in some cases before the body even has a chance to start building the mountain on top of the muscle.
Mike Mentzer was certainly a genius ahead of his time, and he was right on a lot of things, but some things he was very wrong on. 24 men with an average of 203 kilo leg press were assigned to a study. They were split into two groups. One group trained once a week and the other group trained 3 times a week. Based on their findings, the 3x a week frequency had greater strength increase and muscle mass increase. But there were outliers. Some people responded better to once a week and some people responded better to 3 times a week. But these were outliers. The vast majority responded better to 3 times a week. Another study was assigned for 6 males and 6 females who resistant trained in the bench press. The 6 subjects tested a 4, 24, and 48-hour recovery period to measure how their strength decreased and how it increased. For the women, there were basically no difference in muscle strength based on the recovery time. They basically had recovered after 4 hours, but for the men, it took roughly 30 to 48 hours for the strength to come back to baseline. So here you see a chart over some tests they did. Recovery time course on CNS fatigue, voluntary activation percentage, and local muscular fatigue twitch force. On the left side here you can see the percentage from 60 all the way up to 100, and you see the lines. You see the reference to the lines is the color on the right side. You see the straight red is strength training, the normal green is jumping, normal blue is sprinting, the red with dots is strength training muscle, the green with dots is jumping muscle, and the blue is sprinting muscle. So as you can see, you have pre, post, 24 hours, 48 hours, and 72 hours. And yeah, majority gets back to like over 90% after 24 hours. Like no matter what you do, roughly, it will take your CNS around 24 hours to like get back to like 90%. But the thing with this is, if you keep hammering your CNS like before it is fully recovered, you're gonna make a bigger inroad. This is what Mike actually talked about many times, and this is actually pretty true. If you keep hammering your CNS, like let's say you go max out on the bench press on Monday, then Tuesday you go max out on the squat, then Wednesday you go max out for power cleans or whatever, right? Because you have not already recovered fully, you're gonna just make a bigger and bigger and bigger inroad. So instead of being 90% by Wednesday, you will probably be more like 60-70%, right? And then you like, maybe you rest too little and then you get back into it. And eventually, like within a week, you're gonna be at like fucking 5-10% and you're gonna be dead, right? Not literally, but you get what I mean. So my point with this is there's definitely some truth to this. You have to recover. You have to take recovery very serious, but it's not as big of a deal as Mike preached. I've also talked with this on many of you on Discord before. Many of us have differences in when it comes to like what we can take in frequency, right? So like I might be able to work out the same muscle group 3 times a week, while some of you might only be able to do once a week. Maybe I'll only be able to do 2 times a week and someone else can do like 4 times a week, right? As you saw on the earlier study I did on this video, it's differences. There are definitely variables to how people recover. So you have to play around and see where you fit in this, right? But the vast majority, they will be right around these lines, which I did on the strength and the muscle and how now the CNS, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Just I can almost guarantee you don't need 15 days of recovery between workouts like Mike preached sometimes, but play around and see. Maybe you fit 3 times a week, maybe you fit 5 times a week, maybe you fit, I'm not even gonna say twice a week. Well, if you do full body, twice a week minimum, I would say, right? But like if you do split 2 times a week would be way too low for basically anyone. So play around, anything from like 2 to 5 workouts a week. Obviously the 5 is not going to be full body, but you get what I mean. Play around, see where you will fit. Full body in general will basically be best suited for 2 to maximum 4 days a week. But obviously volume has to be accounted for, right? And intensity. So that's about it, guys. If you learned something, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next time.